Okay, so today we're going to look at this great replacement for Macrium Reflect now that they're no longer providing the free edition any longer. Stick around, all the details coming up shortly. Don't forget to like this video, share it and subscribe to my channel. Doing these three things help us make more great videos for you. So, as I say, we are going to look at this Hasleo Backup Suite Free. This is a great replacement, in my opinion, for Macrium Reflect, the free edition. Now, Macrium Reflect was absolutely brilliant. It still is a brilliant product, but they're no longer doing the free version. So we're going to run this one through its paces. So let's just have a look at what features we have on here. So let's just click on the new backup there. So we've got a number of options here. We've got system backup currently running Windows to an image file, disk or partition backup disks or a partition to an image file, or we can just back up files and folders to an image file. Now, normally on Macrium Reflect, I would either select system backup, or if I've got more than one disk in my system, I would use the disk stroke partition backup. So I'm going to click on disk partition backup and see what comes up. So here we can select all of the disks and partitions that we want to back up. Now I've got two disks here. One of the disks is actually the disk that I want to back up to. That's disk 1, but disk 0 here is got my C drive in it, and it's also got other hidden drives here that Windows needs. That's quite typical. So I'm just going to go back here. I'm going to try clicking system backup and see what option that gives. Well, okay, so when I click system backup, it automatically selects all of the partitions on the disk that the system is installed on, and the system partitions that are needed as well, which is quite handy, including all of the hidden partitions. If I go and look at file backup here, it asks me what folders do I want to back up, and helpfully it's shown me on the screen there the desktop folder and the documents folder, but I can go further into my computer and select individual folders from there if I need to, like go into the users folder, and I could just select the whole of my username there to back up hopefully all of my personal files. But if I wanted to do a mirror image, a whole complete image of the system, the settings, the programs, the apps, everything in here, the best thing to do would be either a system backup or a disk or partition backup. So I'm going to select system backup because on my laptop I've only got one disk there, so I click on that, okay, and it's automatically selected, like I say, all these partitions that are needed to back up Windows. So let's just have a look at the backup options just down there. So here we've got the compression here, so we've got none, no compression, low, medium or high. I always like to leave it at the default there. We've got splitting here, so you can split the size of the image if you want to. Again, here I'm going to leave that on automatic, but we can do predefined size. So if we was backing up to a CD, you could say 650 megabytes, 700 megabytes, or if you're backing up to a disk which is FAT32, because there's a 4 gigabyte limit there, you can split the files into 4 gigabyte files, or if you're backing up to a DVD, you can split the files at 4.8 gigabytes there. But probably the best thing to do is leave it on automatic. Of course, you've also got their custom size, so you can select your own size if you want, but as I say, I'm going to leave it on automatic. You've got encryption there. If you want a password protect the image, you can do by giving it a password, and you can also use 256-bit encryption, making it harder for anyone to hack into. In command there, you can run a batch file or a Windows command either before running the backup or after. Go to notification there, you can get notifications of the result of the backup there, so that you can have those emailed to you, so you can send a notification when the operation completes successfully, i.e. the backup completes successfully. You can send a notification when the backup fails, send a notification when user interaction is required, say if there's a problem there and you need to do something to get the backup to work. And you can also use this for a restore operation too, so once the system has been restored, it can also send you a notification if you want to. Don't really tend to use that in any case, but handy if your backups are scheduled to be run unattended. So you've also got advanced there, so you can do a sector by sector backup if the normal backup doesn't work, takes longer, takes up more space, but more meticulous. Allow comments when manually executing the backup task. Not sure what that is. You can check the integrity of the backup image files on completion. So if you want to check just to make sure that the image file is okay after it's backed up, then you've got either a quick image check there or a complete image check. The complete image check is going to take a little while, but again, never really use that, to be quite honest with you. But if the backup is vital, then I would say either do a quick image check or a complete image check. Perform the power management action on completion, so you can get the computer or laptop to shut down after the backup has completed. And you've got their default behavior of the backup option, so you can set full backups. You can set it so that it runs full backups all the time, incremental backups, which are quicker, or differential backups, which are quicker. These are only backing up things that have changed since you last backed up. But I generally like to do a full backup each time, because I tend to find sometimes incremental and differential backups certainly on other programs have failed in the past. So I'm going to keep that on full. So let's just click on OK there. If we go to backup schedules here, we can add a schedule. So if we want it to automatically back up, say weekly or daily or monthly, or once something happens on the system, then we can set that here on these options. I'm not going to set a schedule on this one, but I'm going to set the image retention policy here. So we can set the image retention policy for full backup. So we can either keep the backup for a number of days, or weeks or months or years, or the number of backups. So say, for instance, you wanted to keep the last 3 backups before it deletes the older backups, then you can do incremental, differential. You can say how long you want to keep those for, 2, or you can select the number of backups you want to keep. But I'm just going to keep it simple here. I'm going to say, right, I'm going to keep the last 3 full backups. Always retain the first backup. That enables you to always keep the first backup that you ever make, just in case, for instance, you've done a backup straight after installing the system with nothing on it, and you want to be able to use it as like really a system factory reset as such. You can tick that box, but again, I don't bother ticking that. So let's just click on OK. Here we can give it a task name. So if we want to call it something more meaningful, we can put in there a name for the task. So backup of laptop there. Destination, if I click on the little blue folder just over there, I can select where I want to put the backup. So I'm going to put it on my E drive, which is an external hard drive, and I'm going to create a new folder on there, and I'm going to just call that as Leo space backups. Okay, and then I'm going to click select folder and click select folder again. There you go. I'm going to try running this backup now. So I'm going to click proceed. Obviously here we've got an option here to check the image if we want to after, or we've got a power plan here, so we can select the laptop to shut down, reboot, sleep, or hibernate after the backup has run, but I'm going to leave it on do nothing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this video and we'll come back to it once the backup has completed. Okay, so we've finished backing up. Now this is quite a slow PC. It did take 1 hour and 10 minutes, and let's just have a look to see how much information is backed up. Just looking at my C drive, I've used about 30 gigabytes, but like I say, this is a very, very slow machine, so it's not surprising it took that long. Let's have a look at some of the other options we've got on this backup system. So we've got the ability to restore. So you click select task to restore, and there you go. It's remembered that I've backed up. That's the backup of laptop there. You've also got the option there to browse the image to restore. So if I just go to my E drive, which is my backup drive and has Leo backups, backup of laptop, double click that, and there you go. It allows us to restore the whole disk, or we can go into partition mode and just select the partition, the drive letter that we want to restore if we don't want to restore everything. Or we can go into file mode, and there you go. We can then select just particular files to restore. So if we wanted to restore, say for instance, one of our files, I don't know, in the documents folder, if we had any in there, there you go. I've got a home insurance file just there, 2021. I'll tell you what, just as a test, let's go into my documents folder and let's find the home insurance 2021 file. Let's delete it. Let's just get rid of it. Okay. And then we're going to try restoring it. So let's just select 2021 home insurance, and it's going to ask us at the bottom there, where do we want to restore it to? So let's just click on the blue folder there, and I'm going to restore it back to the documents folder. So I'm going to select documents, select folder, click proceed, and let's just see if it does manage to restore it and how long it takes to restore. There you go, finished. So let's just check our documents folder there, and let's just see if the file is back. Oh, it's actually put it in a folder there called C+NTFS users Chris documents. There it is there, and what I can do is I can cut and paste it back into the documents folder like so, and then I'll just delete those other folders out that it created at the top there. So let's have a look and see what other options we've got here. So we've got clone. So if you're transferring your system to another disk, you want to maybe upgrade to a larger or faster hard drive, you can do a system clone and clone currently running Windows to another disk, or clone the whole disk from one disk to another, or just clone the partition. Let's carry on and go into tools down there. So here we've got emergency disk. So basically, if we can't boot up our computer, then what we can do is, once we've actually backed up our system, we can create an ISO file which we can burn to a CD or a DVD, or if we've got a external, say, USB stick, then we can plug that into the computer and select USB. So I've just plugged an external USB into the system, and I can now select USB, click on proceed. It'll wipe everything off of the USB stick, but it means we can boot from that USB to restore our system if we need to later on. We've also got a option here to add the restore to our boot menu on the system. This is good for a quick restore, but unfortunately won't work if the disk fails inside the computer or your boot sector gets corrupted or wiped by a virus. But it's a good little option there. You've got import export tasks. So if you want to back up a copy of the backup settings or configuration, then you can back it up using this and import it again later on to either the same machine or a new machine. Merge image. So if you want to merge two images together that you've created, you can do that. Check image is if you want to check to see if a backup is okay. Wipe drive, that will wipe whatever drive you want to wipe. Please be aware, once you've wiped it, you won't be able to get the information back. Rebuild MBR, that's rebuild the master boot record. So if your boot record has been corrupted, then you can click on that to rebuild it. That's, of course, if you can get into the system. View logs, this shows all of the things that have gone on in the backup program since you installed it. You can filter it by successful, cancelled and failed. And here we've got some free tools. Portable Windows Creator, which allows you to create a portable version of Windows on a USB stick, and free data recovery software. So if your system's got corrupted, then you can recover data using that. It's probably not going to be the best of tools as it's free, but worth a go. If you want to update the software, then what you can do is you can click on this little icon just up there and click on check for updates, and there you go. So as you can see there is a new version of the backup software. So I can click update now there. As you can see, mine's going through pretty quick. So let's just see what happens. It's closed down the backup program, and now if I click yes there, it's going to reinstall it with the update. So let's just click on OK there. It says here another version of the software is already installed. Please uninstall it to continue. Uninstall now. So click yes. Are you sure you want to completely remove Haslo Backup Suite and all its components? So click yes. Don't worry, it should keep all the configuration files. It should keep all of your backup. So there you go. Haslo Backup Suite was successfully removed from your computer. So click on OK. Accept the agreement by clicking on that. Click next. Click next, click yes, click next, and there we go. It's now reinstalling the latest version. Hopefully shouldn't take too long, and hopefully once it's finished, all of your configuration files and settings should still be there. And there we go, it's come up again with the new version. It's also warning me, it says you haven't selected the default storage folder for your backup image file. So if you're going to back up to one particular place, then you can click yes on here and just select the location where all your backups are going to go. So mine, if I click on the little blue folder there, I've still got my external disk drive plugged in. So I'm going to go to that, and I'm going to go to the Hasleo backups folder, select that folder, and that is where, as standard, all my backups are going to go on my external hard drive in the Hasleo folder. So just click OK. The boot menu option has been removed from the Windows boot menu, and you need to add it manually in the tools page. So let's just go back to tools, and this is because I added the boot menu at the start of a boot up on the computer. So let's just do that. Click add boot menu. It says the program needs to create a WinPE image to continue the operation, which may take several minutes. Are you sure you want to continue? So I'm going to say yes to that. Okay, please select the drivers you want to inject into WinPE. Nope, don't need to do that. So just click next, and there you go. Building this may take several minutes. Please wait. Now this is just like a mini sort of version of Windows that it's going to set up on the computer, so that if, for instance, you have a problem booting into your system and it's not the boot sector that's causing the problem, then like I say, you can then boot in to this special version of Windows, which has Hasleo Backup Suite inside it, which should hopefully allow you to restore your system. But as I always say, it's always a good idea to play it safe and create a USB stick or a CD to boot from in case of system failure. So what I'm going to do now is let's just put the backup program really through its paces. Let's try and muck up the Windows system. Okay, so we're deleting a lot of files from the System32 folder, and there's a lot of files it won't delete in here either. Let's just skip the files it won't. Right, okay, so I've deleted some files in there. Okay, so I'm going to delete a few more files here. Let's delete the Microsoft Office folder. That should really help screw things up. And okay, so now I've done that, let's just try going into one of the Office apps. Let's go into Excel. There you go. Can't find it. It's gone. It's been deleted. Like I say, don't try this at home. This is really for the benefit of the Hasleo backup. So let's restart the computer. So I'm going to go in and restart. Okay, so there you go. We've run into a problem. System will not boot up because I deleted loads of System32 files. So we've now gone into automatic repair. So let's go into advanced options and let's go to use another operating system. There we go. And we can boot into Windows PE Hasleo Backup Suite. So let's try booting into that and seeing if we can restore the system. Looking good so far. And there we go. So it's come up. So let's just click on restore and there you go. Select a task to restore. Backup of laptop. Going to select that. Or I could go in and manually select it if I wanted to by browse image to restore. And then just go into my E drive there. Go into the Hasleo backups. Click on backup of laptop and backup of laptop. And there we go. I can select which partition file or system I want to restore. So I'm going to use system mode because I want to restore the whole system. I've made sure that all of the system partitions there are selected, which it's already done automatically. I can click next there and it's just doing a few checks. And there we go. It's asking us where do we want to restore the system to. So it's already actually selected disk 0, which is the disk that I'm using for Windows. So let's just click on that and then just click next. And it's saying to us, do we want to change the size of any of the disks? No, I'm quite happy just leaving everything as is. Click on proceed. And it says here, all the data on the selected disk will be destroyed. That's the disk that I'm trying to restore to. Are you sure you want to continue? I'm going to click yes. And now it's starting to restore. So I'm just going to leave it and we'll pause this video and we'll come back to it as soon as it's nearing the end or has finished restoring. Okay, so it's finished restoring. It only took 2 minutes 53 seconds. Did seem a bit quick. So let's click finish and let's exit out of this and just see now if it's going to reboot. Okay, so we're booting up. Now before we got a blue screen before I restored. And it's asking us to choose an operating system to boot into. So I'm going to boot into Windows 11. In actual fact, it's selected it automatically there. And yes, it's booted up. It's restored it. No errors. Now you think I deleted most of the System32 folder there, which basically trashed the system. It wouldn't even boot up. We got a critical error when booting up. But now I've restored it. And all it took was 2 minutes 53 seconds to restore, which I think is absolutely astonishing. I didn't think it had actually restored. Also, I trashed Excel as well and Word. Let's just try going into Excel just to see whether that works now. And yep, as you can see, there you go. Excel's now loaded up. Let's just go into a blank workbook. Yeah, absolutely fine. So there you go, a great replacement, I think, for Macrium Reflect. Great considering it's completely free. Great considering, well, it just works. It's done the job. Also, unlike some of its competitors, there's no nag screens, there's no advertising. So there you go. I hope you liked this video and I hope you found it helpful. If you did, consider hitting that thanks button and making a donation to this channel, or have a look through my description down below if you want to check out my Amazon shop looking for a VPN, Fire TV Stick, Fire TV Cube or Firestick accessories. We've got loads of great links down there in the description for you. Buying, subscribing and donating really does help support this channel. And whilst you're here, why not stick around? I've got thousands of other videos for you right here, right now, covering all sorts of subjects. Hopefully whilst you're here, you're going to find something to educate you, entertain you, amuse you, and maybe even save you some time and money. And if you do see any videos whilst you're here that you think your friends, your family or your work colleagues might like to see, then please don't forget to share these on your social media timelines. If you want to check me out on X, formerly known as Twitter, then I'm at CWTEK, or if you want to check out my website, it's cwtek.co.uk. Thanks for watching and speak to you again soon.